Hi everyone, merhaba, this is Ayşenur Altan. Welcome to Turkish Food Recipes. In this episode, I'm visiting my mom and dad. There I end up finding myself in the kitchen, facing a challenge with what's in my mom's pantry. Moreover, since my time was limited, I gave myself 1 hour to bake it. Even I was amazed by the result. So let's get started. It was a beautiful, warm day of fall, my favorite season in Bahçelievler district in Istanbul, where I grew up. At that time, none of these buildings were there. At my parents' house, we chatted for a while. I usually bake some cookies for them so they can keep it in a jar and enjoy it for a while with their coffee. I asked my mom if she wants me to cook something for her. She said some plums are waiting in the refrigerator and asked me if I can make a tart with them. So I checked them. They were not much, but there were some apples too. So I decided to make a lettuce pie with them. After I washed the fruits, I cut the plums in half and pitted them. I peeled the apples and take out the seeds and cut it in four. I'm slicing the plums in wedges, and since the plums are harder, I will begin to cook them first and then add the apples. I decided to cut the apples in big cubes so they don't overcook with the plums. I'm adding the apples after about 4 minutes and a little more than half cup of sugar. I'm gonna cook them in low-medium heat with no lid. After 7-8 minutes, they release their juices and the color from the plums are looking gorgeous. To flavor it, I'm adding 2 pieces of cloves and a cinnamon stick, and I'm going to continue to cook until it thickens and most of the juice is evaporated. Meanwhile, I can make the crust. I'm going to use this food processor for it. It is very handy in this kind of recipes. I have a recipe for it, but at my mom's house, since I can't scale the butter, I'm going to eyeball it. I added about 125 grams of butter, it is cold, half cup plus 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 cups of flour. I'm not going to add it all at once, leave 3 tablespoons on hand, 1 teaspoon baking powder, it is half packet, and now I'm going to pulse everything until it has a crumbly texture. The butter is broken in small pieces. Make sure it is cold. Now I'm adding 2 tablespoons plain yogurt. I gave the recipe recently for making yogurt. Have you tried? And adding 1 egg. And now again pulse everything until it becomes a dough. We shouldn't work the dough too much to have a nice crumbly texture after it bakes. So be careful with that. Here, when you check the dough, if it becomes nicely together, playable, then we are good to go. If it is a little bit sticky, you can add a bit more flour. You can do this on the countertop too. It is always better to play less as possible with the dough. I'm going to transfer my dough on a countertop, sprinkling some flour, and I will divide the dough into 2 pieces. One is bigger than other, which will be the bottom of the lettuce pie. I'm going to roll the piece bigger than my pie now. In here my mom was trying to find the pie pan she never used. And when I saw it, I was in love with it. It was so cute in design. I said even I didn't have this kind of pan. She said it was from Sweden, where my sister lives, and my sister gave it to her as a gift years ago. As you can see, I'm checking the dough if it sticks to the countertop or not by moving around. It is important too. And here is the pan I'm talking about. I need to roll it a bit bigger, and now carefully transfer it to the pan. You can make some patches to complete the sides as I do here. Because the pan I'm using is bigger in size than mine, my dough was thinner, I couldn't roll it more. To make it extra flaky, I decided to bake it for about 15 minutes before I continue in preheated 170 Celsius degree oven. Meanwhile, the filling was done. My mom put it over cold water so it cools down. It smells delicious and it's like a marmalade now. So yummy. In no time I decided to make something savory to go with our afternoon tea. Since the oven is heated already and the kitchen is in a mess, it is not hard to put together a simple poğaça or biscuit with this handy food processor. The idea is the same. I begin with some cold butter and flour. After pulsing, added some olive oil, 2 eggs, keeping 1 yolk for the top, some yogurt, vinegar to help to give a flaky texture, baking powder, baking soda and some salt. I again eyeball it here, but I will give my favorite recipe amounts for this under the video. My dough is ready in no time, and now I'm in the best fun part. I'm going to roll the top for the lettuce pie. I took out the pie crust. It is in golden color already. I cooked about 15 minutes and poured the filling over it. And unfortunately, this is where the battery of my camera was dead. So I couldn't continue filming how I shape it, but it is simply cutting strips and making a lettuce over the filling. You can watch from the video link. It is in Turkish, but you can still understand. And here is the result. My work was done within an hour without baking time. Of course, our Turkish tea is ready, and these are our biscuits. I wanted to add some feta cheese in it, but I forgot, but it was still delicious. Let's pour the tea and go to our balcony. My father always likes his tea extra hot, so I heat the glass before I pour the tea for him. After I set the table, my mom is making the last touches. She wants the flower design on the tablecloth to be seen. In how to make Turkish tea video, I suggest you drink the tea without sugar to get the taste. But let me tell you, my father puts a lot of sugar in his tea, and there are many Turks using it too. It's your choice. Looks like my mom cannot wait to taste the poğaça. Actually, she didn't know I was still filming when I was serving the pie. So this was the story behind this afternoon tea I had with my beloved mom and dad. They really liked both dishes, and we eat a lot and shared some with the neighbors too. Yesterday I shared a photo from the scene in the community tab and asked you about if your parents are around you and how often you see them. I have read all your lovely comments and even cried. I wish we know the value of them, all our family, and spend great time with them as much as we can. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this vlog style recipe video and I hope to see you in another delicious Turkish food recipes and vlogs. Afiyet olsun.